In 22 days, I paid myself $10,000 using $100 to purchase one prop firm accounts. This is the power of basics, and I want to show you guys my simple execution that helped me achieve these results. My name is Gustavo, and you guys can call me Goose. I am one of the trading coaches here at the PG Investor, and I started swing trading about 6 years ago, slowly made my way into day trading options, and then about 3 years ago, I made the switch into trading futures. So let's start with the month of May here. You can see I made 12.5K in 13 days. I do want to highlight here that the amount of trades I've taken per day. So in total, my max would be on average 6. I would like to keep it below that. And you can see a couple days I managed to stay to 1 to 2 trade attempts. And that's in an ideal world where I'm seeing clean price action. I'm able to execute. I'm looking for 2 to 3 trade setups. On those trade setups, I'm willing to take 2 to 3 attempts. Ideally, I would like to just do a one and done, call it a day. There are going to be certain outliers where I may have broken that rule. There are going to be days that the markets might get the best of you. Something like this where I find myself over trading, I want to keep this to a minimum. I don't want to see this on a day-to-day basis or every other day. It is going to mess with you psychologically. It's going to be mentally draining. So if you do have a day where you just felt like you over traded, you didn't execute, either consider sitting out the next day or wait for one setup. And this is what I would like to do is if I go over, I need to slow down, try to keep it to one trade. And that's my main focus, to have kind of continued the system because it helps me reset, focus, and stay at square one the next day. So for the month of June, I just want to highlight here Wednesday, I went over my 6 trade limit. I decided to sit out Thursday. This doesn't mean that I didn't look at the charts. I was still sitting there because I'm trading live for the community and I'm looking for setups for them. But because I knew that I wasn't happy with sort of my trading day here, I decided to sit out, let the markets do whatever. So a week like this, when you have FOMC, it might be a great opportunity to switch over to an eval account. That way you can see if you can build on the accounts and trade copy down the line. Now, I decided to sit this one out just because I was not seeing any great price action. So here at the top, I want to focus on 3 metrics. And here we can see our trade win. I have about 49% on average winning rates. And this is again because I enter every time I look for a trade setup, I start with one contract so I can keep my losses small. And I'll show you guys exactly what that looks like. But I know that if I get stopped out, it's going to be a small paper cut and I can manage to maybe look for a second attempt. If my bias is still intact, I will be willing to take another stab at it. I know 49% might not look great, but this basically gets outweighed for me when I have an average win of 2. Obviously, my winners are much bigger than my losses, and my profit factor is just sitting under 2. 1.95. So anything above 1 means that you are a profitable trader. So these 2 main ones are exactly what I want to keep. And I would like to bring my profit factor up above 2 again, but there are going to be times that I may need to adjust and just take whatever I can get. Every morning, I'll take a few minutes to look at the larger point of view, try to find some large KPLs, meaning key pivot levels that price may try to test. And I'm either looking for a reversal or I'm looking for a pullback continuation of the larger point of view trend. So let's take a look at 2 sort of key concepts that I'm looking here. So let's just say we've had 2 major sell-offs and price is finally testing a previous support level that we created from a larger point of view. I am going to go down here to the smaller point of view, looking at the 5-minute chart and looking to see how price reacts here. And then I'm going to look for that reversal to push back up. Now, if I'm looking for a pullback continuation, I'm waiting for price to pull back near a key level. Sometimes it's as simple as the SMAs. I am going to go down to the 5-minute chart as well, make sure that we get some rejections, confirmation, and then I'm looking to get that continuation down. So let's go ahead and jump into some examples now. Let's take a look at this example. This is ES. We are looking at June 24, 2026. Looking left, Tuesday, we ended up rejecting around this area near 74.91, and ES struggled to get above the 4-hour 200 SMA. Now, coming into New York session, we are getting a bit of a breakout of the orb. Now, what I'd be looking for to see if we're going to continue to see sellers present around this area. If so, I want to take a scalp down because we are already pushing price back up. I just want to say that we are going to get a rejection, and I'm going to look for 1, 2, and a third base hit, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I will trail accordingly. So let's see what price does once it gets here. One thing I am looking for is watching how this 5-minute candle ends up closing at this level. If this is going to fail, meaning that the sellers aren't present, this 5-minute candle is going to close above my level, my two confluences. If the candle body completely closes over, I am not going to look for that short anymore because now price has broken above and is going to disregard my game plan. So a lot of the times this can really help you from jumping in too early and saving you from taking a loss. So let's go ahead, continue to watch how this candle ends up closing. And I know this is the back test. In my charts, one thing I have that I really like is the bar countdown. And this lets me watch to see how much time is left on this 5-minute candle so I don't jump in right away. So now we just barely closed just above the 4-hour 200 SMA. Okay. Sometimes you might get price to break above, but since we're relatively close, I'm still watching very closely. So you got your first reaction candle. I'm watching to see how this action candle, the following candle, is going to play out. I want to see if price is going to push up one more time. Are sellers able to push it down? If so, I'm going to look to jump in with a starter. Now, when I jump in, a lot of the times I've noticed people don't have a game plan as far as where to take their trade to. A lot of the times they're trying to hold in hopes that it goes in their favor, not understanding that there are going to be levels along the way that price might react to. So something I would do is use the 4 EMA first base hit. Ideally, I would like to see price break through that because in this instance, we could have the 9 EMA potentially creep up. If we can break below that, then I want to target the 1-hour 50 SMA, potentially orb high. Not all the times am I going to see price fully get down to this area. Sometimes we only get to our second base hit, and I'm moving my stop loss along the way to make sure that I secure a majority of the profits along the way. So we're obviously seeing price push down a little bit, but it's seeming that price is trying to push. So when I see this, I am going to wait for price to continue to play out, because if we just completely start to push above this, either A, I'm going to take a small paper cut, or this is going to save me from jumping in right away and then not taking a loss. And look at that. It seems like it's struggling to push up a little bit, and we are flipping red. So as soon as I saw this flip, I'm going to add one contract. And if it continues to go in my favor, I'm going to add a second contract right away. So this is what it looked like. I jump in, and as soon as I see it coming down into my favor a little bit more, I'm going to add another contract. And then again, we have our first base hit at the 4 EMA. Second base hits would be the 9 EMA, depending where it starts to push up after this candle closes. So obviously my stop loss is just above this 5-minute candle, and I'm trying to give it a little bit of room above it because sometimes price can potentially come up, take you out if it comes back to retest this, but that's why I want to give it a little bit of room. So now we are getting close to our first target. Again, I like to watch the bar countdown in real time to determine if price could potentially break through this, come down to my second base hit. So second base hit would be pretty much near the 9 EMA. From here, I would probably start moving my stop loss down just above our KPL. And as soon as I'm seeing price action break through my first base hit, I'm going to start trailing near my second base hit, and you can see the next following candle actually opened up, pushing price back up. Are we going to break through the 9 EMA? Maybe not. Maybe price continues to push back up. And that's all I'm looking for. That trade took about less than 10 minutes. Let's just say our entry ended up being around 74.92, got tagged out around 74, let's say 74.82. That's 10 points. I know that from backtesting, 10 points on ES with 2 mini contracts is close enough to $1,000. So I know on average from backtesting that when things move in my favor based off of my setup is that understanding that I have 1, 2 base hits, I know I can capture that on a consistent basis. If price can continue to go in my favor, then I'm going to hit a home runner hitting my full TP. I know I mentioned I was going to show you guys potentially 2 setups here today, but I think one is more than enough. I want to make sure I don't overwhelm you guys or take too much of your time. I appreciate you guys joining in and watching this video. Go ahead, back test this, see if this approach helps you. It has definitely saved me from taking unnecessary losses or being able to manage my risk. And then when I do take another attempt, my winnings are going to be much larger. So hopefully this can help you guys get the results I've shown you here today. One last thing I want to mention, if you made it this far, we have that free Discord. Look at the description to get access to it, and we also will host free live sessions so you guys could get a glimpse of what the community has to offer, and I hope to see you guys there.